into Nazareth, was feeling about half past dead. I just need some place where I can lay my head.
Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing The Wait by the band. Not much to say about this classic song that hasn't already been said, but it's pretty simple to learn and play with just a few chord shapes. Sure, there are some advanced details which I will go into, but they're optional. So this video should have what you need to do an awesome sounding cover of this song regardless of your skill level. I'll even show you how to do some improvising in the chorus with the pentatonic scale. Let's jump in. Okay, so first things first, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with each other. I'm gonna skip over that funky acoustic guitar intro for now because that is the hardest part and it's optional. So let's just jump in with the main verse. Here's the underlying chord progression, and we are in 4/4 time, so each one of these measures is gonna get 4 counts, and we're gonna be counting it pretty fast, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're in the key of A major, so that's 3 sharps, and this is middle C here for reference. So right off the bat, we've got an A major chord, A, C sharp, and E. Then we've got a C sharp minor, same 2 bottom notes here, C sharp and E, and then there's a G sharp on top. And then we've got a D major chord. We're doing an inversion on the D. It's A, D, and F sharp. And then in the left hand, I am going to just play single bass notes on the note that the chords are named after. So for A, I like using 4th finger here. It kind of fits the shape. You could do pinky, but so A there, then up to 2nd finger on that C sharp, and then thumb on D. So even though the A is the lowest in the right hand, we're still doing the D for the root here, and then coming back. You could do a root position D major like that, but this chord sounds a little bit more like the guitar on the recording. And let's start off by hitting the right hand on beat 1 and beat 3, and I'll give you some more rhythm options as we go, but that's gonna sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it just repeats around 4 times, of course, with the singing.
I pulled into Nazareth, was feeling about half past dead.
So we've already learned most of the song because there's so many verses of this song, and it's just that line over and over and over again. But we can go into some more details now. The guitar always throws in a little A sus4 chord at the end of the 4th measure there of A on beat 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I keep referencing the guitar. There is piano in this song, but it plays a specific role. So the part that I'm showing you is kind of a mashup of the piano on the recording and also some of what the guitar does, so that it'll work as just a piano arrangement. So again, for that sus4 moment,
just need some place where I can lay my head.
Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Or you can get a little bit fancier with a feel, something like this. So that really mimics the feel on the guitar. Basically, in the right hand, we're gonna play on count 1, as we've been doing, but instead of hitting it on count 3, we're gonna hit the and after 2, and then the 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then of course it loops right around to 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. But with the left hand, we're gonna hit the and after 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's what really gets the feel from the guitar. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1. So I would just practice that. So I'll be throwing that in. Maybe sometimes I'll just do it the simple way, and sometimes I'll do that feel. I'm gonna go on to a couple other rhythm options now. If you feel like what we've got so far is good for where you're at, you can skip ahead to the chorus section. But I'm gonna do, for starters, a little bit more rhythm here in the left hand, where I'm also gonna play on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, except for this measure, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, like that. You'll notice on the recording, there is a low piano often pulsing in the verses, and it does it on fifths. It sounds something like. So that is an alternative way to play this. For my version, I might actually do that for maybe verse 4 and 5. But basically just doing the outside notes of the chords, but way down low here. So A and E, and then C sharp and G sharp. Doing root position fifths for the G. So we're got an inversion on the right, but left hand would just be D and A. And playing that on 1, 2, and then hitting on 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. You could still kind of do that other rhythm there. And one more thing, when you're on the final A going into the chorus, so that's when the other piano, which I will get to, the comes in, that measure, unlike all the other last measures of A, will not do the sus4. You could do a fun little rhythm on it though, like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Take a load off Annie. Again, that was 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So beat 1 just left hand, and then left hand again, and back and forth on all the eighth notes, and then stopping on 4. Actually gonna hit the right hand on beat 1 as well. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So let's look at the chorus. So here's the main 2 lines of the chorus. So the chorus starts off with that same A chord, and I'm gonna move to octaves in the left hand to give it some more power. If you can't make that stretch, you could do single bass notes, maybe even on the lower octave. So we've got A, and then E over G sharp. So it's an inversion on an E major chord, but it's really smooth because your pinky stays on E, and you just do thumb on G sharp, second finger on B. And of course, the bass note moves down to that G sharp. And then from here, we've got a D major chord. We're gonna go all the way down to D bass notes here, but we're doing a different inversion on D this time. We're actually gonna take this exact same shape and just pop it down like that. So F sharp, A, and D, 1, 2, 5 for fingers. And notice the A and the E over G sharp are in the same measure. So each of those just get 2 counts, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course with the vocals, take a load off Annie, take a load for free, take a load off Annie. Okay, so it was 3 times around before we get to this line that is just a whole bunch of Ds. And really it's just this rhythm on the first of these measures of D before you just hold it the rest of the time. And that's gonna be on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then we would move to the next line. So there is that measure of 2/4 time here for the and you put the load right on me. I will say it's really easy to lose track of the count in there, especially if it's just you singing. You don't have the different vocals kind of cueing off of each other. So as long as you're not playing in a band and multiple instruments have to come in again at the same moment afterwards, you can kind of be loose with it. But anyway, so once that happens, there's one more line here. It's this kind of post-chorus instrumental, and it sounds like this. So, I think I'll probably keep doing the octaves here. I was torn on that though. I think it also sounds nice if you pull it back a little bit. Your choice. But so we've got that A, then we got that E over G sharp. Now we've got this F sharp minor 7. But it's really easy. The left hand just steps down to F sharp, of course, but the right hand just goes right back to the same shape, A, C sharp, E, we were doing for the A chord. And then this is just an E chord. And so you're voicing that the same way we did the E over G sharp, except now we're actually doing an E bass note, and then D here. And this is the same D we were doing in the verses with the F sharp as the highest note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the second to last measure there, where you first land on D, you're gonna hit on beat 1, and then it's optional, but if it's not too tricky for you, on the and after 2, so think in eighth notes, 1, 2, and I'm only gonna do right hand on that one. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then hit together on beat 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and then it just holds for the second measure. And just on the fourth and fifth choruses, it goes around on this instrumental bit twice instead of just once. Okay, so that's the real meat of this cover here. Now I'm going to just do a couple more things that are more advanced and totally optional. Starting with that cool acoustic guitar intro section, here's what that's gonna sound like. So I charted it out for you. Here's the first line of that. So first little chunk is gonna be to play, well, B and E together. So a little harmony, fourths there, and then C sharp, E. You can kind of think of that like 1 and 2, da da da. And now this next cluster is gonna be same rhythm, and the B that hits and harmonizes with the E at the beginning is actually gonna hold for the next couple notes. So kind of stretching the hand up here. E, F sharp, A. So far with the counting, we've got like 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Similar figure here. Up next, we've got, and again, you can kind of harmonize with the B the whole time. You might even want to go, I think that sounds pretty cool. So that's E, F sharp, E. Now we're gonna kind of move down to this shape. I'm going to use my second finger and pinky on B and E there. So just holding the E while doing the B, C sharp, and then E and C sharp together. So that whole line slowly. One more time, a little faster. Okay, just a little bit more. Here's another line of it. This next part's really fun. It sounds like this. So, pinky on D, second finger on A, and then just kind of doing that, hitting the A and D together and just kind of brushing into the B. And then holding the D and A for a moment. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1. Here's the final figure, moving kind of that same shape down to A and E. So that's hitting together, E, F sharp, really quick, kind of like a grace note. Ba-ba-da. And you can hit the A both times, or I actually kind of like hitting it twice, but the A should be heard across all three of those notes. And then just to finish it up, A, F sharp, E, just by itself, no harmony. Again, that whole second line. And then it lands in an A major chord. You could just go and just kind of get ready for how you're gonna play the verses, and it's on that A for 2 measures before the verse starts. Now, the piano on the recording voices it a particular way there after the, sounds like this. I really like that. So I'm gonna use my left hand to hit an A bass note there, and a C sharp, and an A there. And I believe the timing there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. There's a little da-da. So just playing the notes the right hand's already doing on, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the verse starts. Okay, so the final thing I wanted to talk about was all those cool little melodic things that the piano plays on the choruses. And I want to look at this because it's such a big part of the sound of the song, and it's interesting. And for people who are playing piano in a band where maybe they don't have to hold down the chords because there's a guitar player doing it. But for a solo piano cover, it really doesn't work that well to do like, take a load off Fanny, and like trying to go back and forth between the two different roles. The other thing I want to say is it's not exactly like a piano part that I'm just going to teach you, because what it sounds like to me is Garth Hudson is just improvising using octaves on a pentatonic scale. And it also gets really complicated on some of the later choruses. He does some really fast, I mean, Garth Hudson is a brilliant piano player. But the scale he's using is an A major pentatonic scale. It's got an A, B, C sharp, E, and F sharp before getting back up to A. So pentatonic scale, it's 5 notes, and it's like a distillation of the more full major scale, and it cuts out a couple of problematic notes that it just makes it a really useful scale for improvising over chord progressions in the key where just every note will sound good all the time. It also happens that all the black keys together form a pentatonic scale. That's why they're so fun to just mess around on. He mostly uses octaves, so if you can do it, you can just practice moving around on a pentatonic scale using octaves. Sometimes doing that kind of stuff. So I will show you what he does on the first chorus. It's maybe the most recognizable, and then you could play off of that on other stuff. This part generally comes in on the last measure, the A at the end of the lines of the verse. So like, he just grinned and shook my head, no was all he said. Take a load off Fanny. So that was just, when you get to that measure of A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And so that's beat 1 of the chorus starting. And I just did the E, F sharp, A, C sharp, E. 2/8 notes per. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Take a load off Fanny. Then he does this. That's B, C sharp, and E, doing a little back and forth. So take a load off Fanny. Hitting that E when the next cycle of the chord progression. Take a load for free. I love that one. 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Just B, C sharp, B, A, F sharp. And then finally, take a load off Fanny. And so that's da 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 da, A, B, A, F sharp, A, C sharp. Rhythm there is 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 1. So you could try learning that part, and then for the other choruses, you could just, he does similar things for a lot of the choruses. A lot of them start in a similar way. But he does change it up, and then he does some of that kind of stuff, similar to actually what we were doing for that intro. This is the trick in my course, Piano Chord Breakthroughs. I call that the sus2 fill. Really useful little trick there. So you could throw some of that in. But yeah, that is what's going on with the piano in those choruses. All right, thank you for sticking with me. I am now going to do a full cover of the song so you can see how the different parts we just learned fit together in the complete song. And on the choruses, I am going to do some of that high piano improvised stuff. I'm going to use a third hand to do it. So that's just for fun and to demonstrate, again, if you're playing in a band or something and you're going to play that piano part. If you like this video, please also like it on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and click the bell so you know when I put out more videos just like this one. Also, leave a request in the comments. I do check those, and they give me lots of awesome ideas. So yeah, here is my version of The Wait.
Pulled into Nazareth, was feeling about half past dead. I just need some place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand, no was all he said. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny, and you put the load right on me. I picked up my bag, I went looking for a place to hide. When I saw Carmen and the devil walking side by side, put the load right on me. Go down, Miss Moses, there's nothing you can say. It's just old Luke, and Luke's waiting on the judgment day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Anna Lee? He said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Anna Lee company? Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie, and you put the load right on me. Crazy Chester followed me, and he caught me in a fall. He said, I will fix your rack if you'll take Jack, my dog. I said, wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, boy, won't you feed him when you can? Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie, and you put the load right on me. Get your cannonball now to take me down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone. Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie, and you put the load right on me.